Hello everyone, it's Cheryl Millett here, live at 5 for a Friday. There's been so much going on. I didn't want to leave it till Monday, and some of it is amazing news, but at the same time, patience definitely is required. But at the same time, just being present to the moment more and more, which is never going to harm us going forward. It's just not. It's just not. So live at 5 is, yes, all things healthy, and you never know what I'm going to say. But I have it kind of set up now so that I bring forth something completely new, something completely different. I guess in that way, some things are not necessarily new for some of you, but it's completely different. And then go into, I guess, news, top of the day, something that's top of mind, something that's come in. So I want to speak to that, and then we're going to tell a few jokes to lighten it up so we're not too serious. We're not taking life too seriously. And this is important. This is important before, this is important now, and this is important going forward anyway, that we have this joy. Hi sis! So we want to do that. So what is the something different today? Again, something new for some people, but something different. And these are, let's just see if you've seen these before. I'm going to hold them up. But it's like waxed cloth. Waxed cloth. So I'm going to see if the camera does it any justice. And then I'm going to demonstrate one. And then this one my dear sis gave me one of the times I was up there. So it doesn't matter what the print is on it. How I'm going to describe it is, it's very waxy and very rigid, but it holds to, let's say, your lemon. So when I cut a lemon in half in the morning, the one half I don't use. So instead of putting it in a piece of plastic, and instead of putting it in Tupperware, which has to be washed more vigorously, then this just rinses with warm water, very warm water, no soap. So you got your lemon. I'm just going to hold my fist up here. And what you do is it'll just form to whatever it is around, protecting it, sealing it. It doesn't matter that it's completely sealed or not. But the idea is, now, just going to further elaborate on it. Here's a bigger piece. And what this can be used for is if you do have a bowl of sorts with some whatever salad or some food in it, this can be the top. So where we would use saran wrap, you could easily use this waxed, seems like a cloth, a wax cloth. And you know, they use beeswax, just like, it smells nice. It smells like beeswax. It's beautiful. So and so easy to wash, so easy to wash. Just wash with, just put it under the hot water, I guess, not too hot. Don't use soap, and then I just lay it out to dry, because that's one of the key things. Remember, I keep talking about environment. But one of the key things is there's an environment to everything. So if I were to leave this, damp or not being able to dry well enough, it wouldn't be helpful. And other things are the same way. That's why I was saying the other day to somebody, it's important to air out your fridge. So open it, several times throughout the day. Fresh air is so important. It's so important. And in fact, in the days of the past, if anybody got sick, one of the things that they did was they would, first thing in the morning, open up all the windows and doors and actually air out the room of the person who's not feeling well. No matter what season it is, you just air out everything. Of course, probably in the summer you probably leave the windows open, and you could easily leave the windows open, a window open, and a slight crack in the winter time as well. But that's so I'm going to try and look up the name of this. I don't have the packaging anymore. If you're in the downtown Toronto, Ecoexistence is well, that's where I bought this from. They came in boxes, and you can get different sizes. So you just have to think about how you typically will use saran wrap, or those plastic bags, the size of the plastic is what you would use them for, and then you would just use this and use it more and more. That's what I'm kind of doing. Just kind of leaving it out on top of mind. But what I've started to use it for several weeks ago is my lemon. I'm just going to try and use it more and more and more and more. I need, please help me. Okie dokie. Hello, Cheryl. Yes, hello, Ferdinand. So let's go into some of the news. Now, as we are in theme with the C words today, some of them are very, very crazy, and you're going to have to, I'm just going to have to explain that. I'm just going to start with deClassifieds. I'm going to go dark to lighter. You may have been sent or have read somewhere that when you declass something, you declassify something. When something's classified, that means it is not open to most people, or those who are not supposed to be open to. But so declassifying, declassified, declass, as sometimes it's shortened to use, means that there's information, sometimes very sensitive information, that you can go and look at. You can go and look at. Now, I'm going to give you caution here. Caution, because I'm not going to say I went down the rabbit hole, but I went and looked at some of these declass, and I'm not going to say they're pretty. They're not. And in fact, you will get such, in some cases, just letting you know, just letting you know. The one thing I went down, and I spent probably a good hour getting out of my mind, So once I kind of speak to it today. So which one did I look at? The one I went to look at is Hunter Biden, and this is because part of it is the communist. Anyway, don't know if I'm going to say it. Probably cut me off, but there is a deep connection here to the C and I think it's P, and maybe by hesitating here, it's not going to sound like it flows, and that's why I'm doing it that way. Anyway, so it was crazy, crazy. Don't wish it on anybody. You really do have to cleanse, which is why I say about cleansing here, but I'm going to talk about cleansing in a different way. The mind after that, and just reminds me of some of the movies and the shows at a more subtler level, but still there. The fact that this is so real. Now, what I was going to do and read here is there's such a program, and it's a B and a G and a Y program in the US of A, and also in several Western countries in Europe. So they go along with some of that material. There's some, how can I say, information they're sharing with. So there's millions of videos and photos of government officials, corrupt people, traitors, and criminals colluding with the C and the P to dominate the world. So it actually talks to I don't know if you've heard about a new federal state of China, and some of these pictures are just the tip of the iceberg, and at the end of the day, 2 is enough for me, I have to tell you. Don't even go there. It's visually, but also mentally, it's, you have to be able to handle it. The other ones that I saw way back when did have to do with some horrific scenes of certain things that kind of happen because they can, more to do with war times or that kind of thing. Again, not very pleasant. I think the Clinton emails, in the way of that, is so much more tamer, from only what I've read, because there's thousands of them, is so much more tamer. But the idea is these are real, so I just wanted to kind of talk to deClassifieds. The reason I'm bringing it up, the key reason I'm bringing it up, is because they keep saying there's more to come, there's more to come, there's more to come. So that's why I wanted to bring it up. And the list of things that are declassified, that you can click onto is lots. There's lots of things involved in there, and lots of topics. So you can go specifically to a certain topic, and then within there's individual links, and then you then eventually get to pictures, photographs, videos, those kind of things. But anyway, it is not something I'm going to post here, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to bring it up so that you are aware of when they have made things classified, they have done it for a reason. And the reason why they're declassifying some of these things is so that people, it's about time to see the reality of what's been going on beyond what we hear about sex trafficking and children and things like that. Is it kind of parallel to it? Somewhat, yes. Does it all tie into deeper corruption? Absolutely. And when it comes to sex, I have to say that it is one of the things that holds people in, how can I say it, emotionally and physically in a way to that without, it's one of those topics you don't talk to at a party, but I'm here bringing it up because you can see this and much is going to be tied to the sex word, and that's because people can be drawn into it, and people can get addicted to it, and be it that there's a pleasure there, be it that there's a pleasure on the mind says yes, 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 and you can go deeper and deeper. And they've used it as blackmail for numerous people. I hear for a lot of government officials, they do crazy things like that too as well. So it's really one of those things. And as they say about the porno and all of that, they say it's big money. They say it's huge. It's and you hear about these things. One of the things I really can say is, if we have to keep it in the closet forever, then we're actually not looking at the problem. We're not looking at the issue. So I'm bringing it out of the closet, if we want to look at that way. And deClassifieds are going to be coming out more and more. And again, that's why I bring it up. So the idea of deClassifieds is you got to be ready, you got to be strong. You got to be, courageous to one level, and there's a level of curiosity in all of us. Absolutely, a level of curiosity. So the idea is rabbit hole hunter. Well, rabbit hole it is, but it's real. Yeah, it's so real. Then, so the cleansing part will have to do. So if, in fact, you do watch anything that's there, you've just got to keep throwing it out of your mind. Think of something you can replace it to. And distract, but not only distract. Spend the time to recognize it is there and just go, if we want to think about that part of that ego, because anything ego and true ego, it's just what you see. It's just as plain as that. It's just what you see. But you don't want to hold it there. You don't want to have it as a pocket of energy, part of your memory, part of the egoic memory, or anything like that. So you just want to keep throwing it out, throw it out, throw it out, throw it out. And I keep saying thank you, but no thank you, thank you, but no thank you, until it doesn't kind of keep, surfacing, popping up. And then kind of whatever one needs to do. You just got to just say that. So that's kind of that is. I mean, chaos is chaos. Chaos is opening doors. And here it's quite clear that the doors are being opening because we're cleaning out the closet, if you want to look at it that way. It's time to clean out the closet, and it's time to open the doors to see what's going on. And that's why in some cases when people speak to certain particular groups or letters of the alphabet, let's just say, that there's indications of that and been that, but this has been validated, from things that I've heard and heard directly from people that I know, people who've been raised in satanic cult families, and so forth. So this is, and just even in some of my crazy experiences in my life will tell me some of this stuff is not far from the truth. So lots of C words there. So cleansing, to get back to cleansing, is all right, cleansing your mind of things and visions and imagery and things that come in, and just not to take them in as much as possible. The cleansing of the body is very important. I'm just going to jump into health because cleansing is really one of the key ways to reset the body, to heal the body, to recharge the body. Now, that might be intermittent fasting. That could be the internal saltwater bath that I've mentioned here. Just drink salt water and it'll flush out all your intestines. And with people come in, clients that I see that have cancer, I'm getting them to do it 3 days in a row. We don't have to do that preventatively, but there are times when we do need it. So cleansing out the intestinal, cleansing out the mucus, further going deeper, cleansing out and supporting good functioning of the detoxification organs. Absolutely, you've heard of cellular cleansing. At any rate, there are hundreds of ways to think about cleansing. The most important, really, so we don't get into a yo-yoing, is actually to have a healthy lifestyle and diet. All right, so that whole thing about sleep well, move well, eat well, think well, because when we're under tension and stress, we don't detoxify as well. We're holding on to things, if that makes sense. And I know that it can give you example. One example is fibroids. If anybody has fibroids, they're holding on, whatever they're holding on, not speaking up, holding on to stress, holding on to tension for the various reasons they are. And that is one. So now you have this thing created. And this is important when it comes to understanding the body and the physical body. It's a miracle. It is so intelligent. This is, I can't even say this more, I have to say this more and more, well, just keep saying it, I guess, is that the physical body is really so intelligent that we really need to accept that fact, that it is beyond words. Now, as I'm reading the book Anastasia for the book club, in there it reminds me of just how intelligent it is. When we think of, I just kind of read through the computer, the brain, you may have heard this before, is the brain is a wonderful computer. And it is beyond 1,000 times, I think Anastasia says, than any computer, and she would challenge it. But here's the thing. We have not tapped into our full intelligence. Now, our innate abilities, our intelligence, we have not tapped into them. That's why it's not really as easy to say, yeah, just do it, just do this, because it is a confidence, it is a practice, it is a belief first and foremost that even is possible, right? So, and when there was that, and I'm not going to remember, but it's the 1 minute 4-minute mile, something like that. And nobody believed that they could do it. And this athlete did it. And then beyond that, all kinds of people thereafter ran that and beat that. That was showing the way. And it gave the confidence. So when it comes to your wonderful body, but the idea is to know where to start, to know what's right first. Now, right? Whatever. But there is definitely things sometimes to do before you do cleansing. There is things. And the sooner you get to there, the results will unfold as they need to unfold. Right? Different for everybody. This is the uniqueness, but yet there's going to be similarities. Right? We are man. And so what I wanted to do, to see if there's anything here, is I want to talk about cleansing. Yeah, we just still have to hold our courage badge here, and building up my courage to go to Loblaws with no mask. I don't know why. Just don't know why. I think at times, these times just seem to be escalating, and it's almost like my courage has to escalate. And it's I don't go that often, so I said right in the early beginning, I'm not going to make a point of challenging anybody. I'm not going to make a point of doing it for the sake of doing it. When I need to go, I will go. And so It's going to be sometime this weekend. Sometime this weekend. Some people have said film a bit, but I think sometimes that is a challenge. You know, people see cameras. You have your phone camera on. It just seems like, yeah, I just can't get my head around that one to actually do that. So let me go into some other things that I want to kind of come up with. Yeah, there's some articles here. I may or may not post them, but you know, the SEX things is coming out more and more, where people are getting charged. This is a Taekwondo coach in Toronto, sentenced to 6.5 years. Legal advocacy in Canada. So this is, yeah, this is Justice Center. So it really has a lot of information in here about certain things. Like it would be a support for Canadians, and it's a federally registered charity that defends citizens' fundamental freedoms under the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms through pro bono legal representation through educating Canadians about the free society. So I'm going to put that down below. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it definitely gives you a deeper understanding, should be. But I have joined what's it called, Telegram, and with a group on there, and they are bringing up these human rights, the Human Rights Code, the Charter. So I'm getting better to understand that common law are common law rights. And as I mentioned in another live at 5, is about man. We are man. Man got a little bit turned around as far as the word man got a little bit turned around. We're all man. But sometimes, sometime 1,000 years ago, they started to manipulate that word. So as a man, you know, my rights was free of government. So that's the common law rights. So we have rights, and more people are learning about it. So it is so cool. Yeah, now I'm just going to get into some things here, getting lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. Ontario Pediatric Hospital says children should return to in class. Now this is published January 21st, 2021, just yesterday. And this is about the Ontario Pediatric Hospital say children should return in-class learning as soon as possible. Now, without going into signing up for this online newspaper, the idea here is you have to do that in order to get all the details. But you wonder, why is that? Why is that? I can get a free account to read the article. I might do that. But the idea is there's got to be good reasons and not just top of mind reasons. Another good. So here is former Chief Medical Officer of Health. This is around the Ontario lockdown is not supported by strong science. Oh, he's not the first guy that said it. Now, this province's top doctor for most of the 90s says the Ford's government's COVID-19 response is misguided. Now, I want to back into the earlier part of this talking about news, is that the C and the plus P is behind most of this, from all that I can gather. I mean, just where it even started. So it seems like that's behind, even from the declassified information to what I've been hearing for years to mostly what other people say. And so we can know why they're misguided. You know, whether they have this to their head or whether they have something else going on, the truth of the matter and the facts are that it's not common sense, it's not logical, it's not humane. And people speaking about it is great. It's great. It's awesome, because more and more people who are not aware of what is going on will begin to awaken, that wonderful word, awaken, to question, minimally, to question. So I'm going to post this article down below so you can read it as well, but it's an open letter to Doug Ford criticizing the province's lockdown strategy and backing up the ousted MPP Robin Barber. So I'm going to put his website there because he actually has a petition to sign. So more and more people are coming out, and we cannot, the whole lot of them that are going to be stepping up is support, support. So the idea is read it, don't read it, understand what's going on. There's going to be an ongoing of repetition, yet different people coming in. But the idea is this could have been, spoken about in March, in February, because the C and the plus P is actually the ones who called out for the lockdowns. They're the ones that called out for it. So, and I've already talked to models, and in here they talk about models that predicted hundreds and thousands of deaths from COVID in Canada were badly wrong because they used incorrect, exaggerated inputs. Just like Health Canada said, we increased the death rates by 50%, and how the hospitals had to put everybody down as COVID so they would get paid, so they could actually allow people into the hospital and continue on. Do I know this like I know this? No, not some of this, but I've talked to emergency doctors. I have seen things with my own two eyes, and we can put the pieces together. It's not too crazy. So there's a lot there. So Roman Barber, I'll put his website. I'll put this National Post one so you can see the good doctor here saying, Dr. Richard Shabbos, if I'm saying his name correctly, what he says about it. And there's many more. But the idea is if you're new, then it's you got to start somewhere. So then, yeah, and there's something else went on a little crazy here, and this goes down to mainstream news and media. So there were questions from mainstream media to Dr. Fauci recently in a White House live scenario, and what's kind of been going around is, they got to start from scratch. The new Biden administration got to start from scratch. Got to ditch whatever was done as far as the plan to distribute vaccines. But Dr. Fauci in here, I'll put it up there, says no, we did, we're just expanding on it. We are ramping it up. That's it. But really, it's crazy just how many people, want to, just want to shit on things. That's probably the way I would say it there. That's really, so Ontario MPPs, they have to talk to us for 20 minutes if we put in a request. Now this is from another MPP, Roman, mentions this, 20 minutes. So I sent in an email and I made a phone call to Jill Andrews, who's in my area here, to have a conversation about the lockdowns. Now, are the masks next to go? Absolutely, in my mind. Is the physical distancing? Absolutely, because what is it? What do we have? If you go through the numbers are no different than the flu. No different than the flu. In fact, I downloaded a video. I posted it down below posted below, and I actually recorded it myself. I could download it. That's it. I could download it. So I downloaded it and then uploaded it as an MP4. And it was a very short video that said we have an extremely unnormal low flu numbers. They're probably not even testing for it, for one. They're probably just labeling them COVID. And but I hear that they are now. I hear that they are. I hear more and more people, they're getting this, but then they're getting that. So that tells me simply right off the bat, their way they are, how can I say, testing for things is they're not including the flu. And I mean, the numbers that he said were just crazy low. I mean, some people have been saying they're non-existent. But in this case, there's one or two. One out of the course of a month is influenza A, and another 1 or 15 influenza B. Where there were hundreds before, there's only a dozen or two. That's it. So that tells us that what's going on here. And as much as some of this is out front and center, it doesn't matter. Because as I said before about the upper echelons of the politicians, is that they are not listening anyway. It's like they have one of these to their head. And how that works exactly, I have no idea. I have no idea. But there are some people that know. Absolutely. So the only other thing I want to say is, and I know I had it up here, but I don't know where it is, was the general, I probably changed it, but Julia, yeah, Julia, I think it's the governor, Lieutenant Governor General, and who is actually, it's kind of like the Queen's right hand or representative here in Canada. Payette, yeah, that's it, Julie Payette, and she is resigned because there were allegations, and then through them investigating it, they discovered there must be some truth, and so she had to step down. But the interesting thing, and exploring a little bit more, is apparently Trudeau bypassed what we'd call the normal route in order to vet this person, and that didn't happen. So Trudeau did not. However he did that, didn't vet. So here you have somebody who's the Queen representative that's acting not, how can I say it, graciously enough against, with humankind, the people that were working in her office or people that were working with her or had to connect with her. And so there you go. So things are being cleansed. Things are being cleansed slowly but surely. And the idea is we just need to be reminded of our patience and our kindness to ourselves. So this is a good time to continuously bring on the things that serve you and kindness to others, because you're going to only feel good about being kind to others for sure. So let me just see. They are being incompetent, fraudulent with the numbers. Either way, it's not good. Yeah, either way, it's not good. It's not good. But I think in some cases, we as the people have to, with all the powers that I've been bringing up, our purchasing power, there's the placebo power, there's the people power. This is key more than ever, is to bring these powers into play. So wearing no mask at any time is a power. That's the people power. And speaking up and calling your MPP. The only thing I can absolutely say is that, and I know this kind of like is self-mastery, is not to lose control. It's not to lose control, to not be reactive to what's going on. You can say that's easier said than done, but the idea is there's timing, and to practice it more and more is going to be helpful. But that's the one thing that they look for when you lose your cool. And that's the one thing that they will then, they will shut down and not listen and not be attuned to what you have to say. So this is keeping cool, keeping calm, being kind, and having patience here is so, so important. There are more things to come out. I mean, some of the things that are coming out more and more is brilliant. But here's the last thing. Now, this is the bomb for the day before I go into the jokes. So I went from dark to light, and I'm going to go really light right now. The Online Academy, the International Academy of Universal Self-Mastery, is a very, very new academy. They are just getting their toe in the water, and they are bringing together a number of practitioners, still looking for more practitioners, in fact, a global online presence where they'll have practitioners of any nature. Yes, it's in the field of health and whatever, that they will actually bring together, and they'll do it in all the various languages, so it doesn't matter where you are in the world. There'll be Spanish-speaking ones and French-speaking ones, and I think somebody's from Europe. So they're just getting their toe in the water, I'm going to put a link down below if you care to help out. They're getting their toe in the water. There's lots going on in there right now, and there's a lot more to come. This is where I'm going to start the Awakening Book Club, but it's going to be reading out loud, so it'll be fun. It'll be like Shakespeare, different characters, and hopefully get engaged with other people reading it with me. And I'm teaching YDAN on there, but those are kind of unique to the Academy, the iAwesome Academy, but there's so many more. And then you get certificates on there. I believe Reiki is one of them, and they have, anyway, there's so much. There's almost 100 faculty member right now, but I'm going to put that so you can be aware of it. You know, fear. Oh, that's a crazy one. Just throw that back in the closet. That one will keep poking its head out. But actually don't put it in the closet. Take it out, look at it straight in the eye, and just say thank you, but no thank you. You know, don't need you anymore. It's there. And but it's hard. I don't want to say it's hard because you put that out there. But the idea is we got to start somewhere. And the littler fears are easier to kind of put out, and then you just kind of keep going with it. Keep going with it. But death is a big fear, and this is brilliant plan here, and that is for sure. So let me just talk to you briefly about an email I'm going to post up here. I want to call it disgusting. I want to call it crazy, an extension that probably never went away with the World War II and Hitler and the Aryan race and all this friggin' crap. I'll call it crap because I think it is. Anyway, it's disgusting. And there's a short video I've watched, but I decided I'm going to bring it up because it doesn't matter where you're from, what color of the skin, whatever culture, whatever. Everybody's got to see. Now, I don't want to tell you what you should be doing or should be thinking or anything, but it's so clear. It's just absolutely insane. Insane. Now, I don't want to say too much or give it away, but when you hear this short video, it's not very long. It's not very long at all. And in fact, I'm surprised it's not taken off by now. But it came up, and Dr. Young, speaks to it. And wow, it's so crazy, but you should be aware of it. That's my feeling. Now, if you're not feeling like you want to watch it, it's not like the deClassifieds. Trust me, it's nowhere near that way. It's some talk, but nonetheless, it's one of those things that if you can handle the truth, and if you can handle really understanding what's going on right now. Even the C and the C and the C and the plus the P, whatever, that is only the way they're bringing it about. But the underlying piece to this why is in this short video. So watch it. I don't want to say it. It's but I will say it. If everybody says blah blah blah, it's taken down. But I recorded it with my own phone. So just so that you know, I recorded it with my own phone because I could get it big enough. It's clear enough. Again, it's short enough. So I have it. At the end of the day, I just want everybody to say, no, we're not going to allow that to happen. No, we're not allowing that to happen. So you'll get that. And now it's time to go into some jokes. Yes, fear, false evidence appearing real. But boy, don't they make a good try of it to get fear going. I think that's why they came up with Hollywood, to tell you the truth. They came up with Hollywood and the acting and things like that. Well, no, they have had plays, but plays in the past, if you do your study a little bit about theater, they had an agenda. They can push propaganda. I mean, all of those things can come into play. So by bringing it to the screen and using technology, it can absolutely brainwash people or distract people or program or seed. All those things can come about. So what's the truths? Well, make truths more about what is right in front of you. That's what I'm going to say. Here's some jokes. So we're going to get into the lighter side of life because at the end of the day, taking anything too seriously, too long, is going to make the body tense. So here's 3 for today. When I was a kid, my English teacher looked my way and said, "Name 2 pronouns." When I was a kid, my English teacher looked my way and said, "Name 2 pronouns." And the kid said, "Who? Me?" Haha. All right. This girl said she knew me from the vegetarian club. This girl said she knew me from the vegetarian club. But I've never met her before. I've never met her before. So it's spelled herbivore, but it's one of those things you got to see the words, but it's good. Okay, I like this one. I can hear music coming from my printer. I think the paper's jamming again. There you go. Haha, laughs. Laughter is great medicine, and I suggest during these times, if you're taking anything too seriously or anything gets you wound up, to bring in some jokes, because they're easier. You know, buy a joke book. Look, have your puns, laughters open up on your computer, on your phone, wherever. Bring out that joke book if you have. I have some Irish slang. I'll bring it out for the next time. But the idea is that lightens up. Or put on some good music that you like to dance to and start releasing and dancing and just allowing the body to move. I mean, if that's your thing, that's also very, very good to do, to just smile, put a smile on your face any which way you can, and that's good. So we need it. We absolutely need it. Well, there you go. I'm going to say adios, au revoir, arrivederci, bye for now, and until next Live at 5, which Monday, it's Live at 5 is actually Mondays. Live at 5 Mondays is the usual. I will come back and see what else we have. If there's anything of great emergency or just kind of piles up, then I'll come on sooner. But otherwise, I think 2 or 3 times a week now during this time has its value. So any questions, any comments, put them down below. Share as far as what you know, what you're hearing, and keep sharing. So private messenger, the messages that way keep pouring in, and they're very helpful. They're very helpful. I don't get to watch all of them, but some of them, as I mostly share here, so thank you. And they come in handy. And I'm going to mention again, Sylvan Henry. He has been doing Zoom calls, Monday, Tuesday. He's been doing more lately, even with children coming on board who are advocating the freedoms and so forth, and what's going on. So the teenagers, the youngsters of our country, and I think this is probably not here. It's probably across the globe. Like I'm just going to give thumbs up to Poland for opening their businesses. I actually have an article. I will post that down below. This article from Poland about them opening up. Won't hear it on the mainstream news or ABC or CBC or CI, whatever, all these ABCs. So just to know, right? We just kind of share it. I mean, this gives us some hope, yes, but just know everything's going to work out. How it's going to work out, what's actually going to, the way it's going to flow will depend on each and every one of us, right? So one of the key things I keep mentioning is raise our vibration. That is huge. Is that the laughter? Is that the dancing? Is that painting a picture? Is it whatever it is for you? But anything that brings you happiness, that's a good thing, okay? It's not the same for everybody, so just figure it out and keep the balance and harmony. Thanks, Howard. That's the Facebook page, and then you can get connected to the Zoom links and so forth. But they're awesome. There's different, because I know what probably this week again was the person who was the expert. If I can find the link, I'll post the link about the masks. Now, this is an expert, almost 30 years in Canada here, that taught military, and I'll put that down below. Chris Schaefer is his name. But that and many others, it's one of my key links, my lines to being informed is through Sylvan Henry's. But there's a lot of great groups, and he and the other leaders of the great groups have been coming together for solutions. But one of the key things is awareness. One of the key things is raising the awareness that there's even an issue going on today, and that things don't make sense, right? So both things kind of have to come together. More and more people being attuned to what's going on, and being aware enough of the solutions and other things to keep moving forward. So take care, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful weekend. If I don't see you, probably not, but I'll see you on Monday. So take care. Enjoy your weekend time with friends, with family, and out in the fresh air. So take care. Bye for now.